Hey, and welcome back to my channel. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much. If you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel where you'll find makeup looks, some homemade masks that I do for hair and face, DIY projects of mine, and I'm speaking about Smileline, which I'm still on the treatment right now. And if that's your thing, you're interested in these things, then please do subscribe and click that ring bell, notification bell, so you get notified each time I post a new video. Now, that being said, let's sink into this video. I thought that for today I would do another makeup look using the Mothership Sublime palette, which is the Mothership 2. That's the only PatMcGrath palette that I have in my collection, and I really wanted to use it more because I've been in a phase lately where I haven't been in a mood for eyeshadow, for makeup for the eyes. Really, I only put foundation and bronzer, and that's about it, mascara and no eyeshadow. I've been through a phase probably, but now I'm out of that and I really missed my palette, and this is the look that I came up with. It has that foxy eye vibe to it, and it's very trendy right now, but it's a look that I love anyway, and I always strive to do because it just lifts the eye. And this is another way of doing this look. If you have hooded eyes, especially I have hooded eyes and one eye is more hooded than the other. I think it's this one. I have a mirror in front of me here. I think it's this side that is more hooded, or is it this one? I always forget. But when I do my makeup, I realize that one line is higher than the other. Usually I think this one is more hooded than this one. Some days I think this one is, so I never really know, but I try to balance the lines each time I do my makeup. This is a tutorial with voiceover, and I'm gonna talk you through what I'm doing. It was easier to film like that since my son was around, and I just thought it's easier to just get on with it and just do the thing without stopping to talk too much in one place, because it would have taken so much longer. I hope you like this kind of tutorial too, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to start with my Nars concealer. This is the concealer I'm using at the moment every single day, and applying that just on my eyelid with just a brush, a synthetic brush, to create a nice base for my eyeshadow to go on. Now I'm taking my Mothership Sublime palette, and I have been neglecting this and I want to give it some love again, and I'm taking the color Rose Dusk in this palette. If you don't own Mothership palette, this palette necessarily, you don't have to worry. You can just use whatever colors you prefer and you like. I'm just gonna blend that color all over my crease, and I'm taking it a bit higher because my eyes are hooded, and when I look straight ahead I still want to be able to see this color, and therefore I'm really spreading that towards my eyebrow. It's gonna definitely look better when I put foundation on. Now you can see my redness. I had the spot under my nose and you can still see the redness for that, so it just looks ridiculous. But blending, and then blending some more. Now I'm taking the shade Dark from this palette. It's called Dark, and putting that in my outer crease, and I'm going to blend that out just so we can merge beautifully with the Rose Dusk that I've put previously. So doing some more blending, basically dragging the color upwards towards my outer corner and towards the ending of my eyebrow, just blending that upwards so I can give my eyes that lift effect. The next shade is called Extreme Black that I'm going to put in my outer crease, and I'm going to create a straight line. Basically, I don't follow the natural curve of my eye, but I go straight in the outer, towards the outer corner. And you can't tell here, but I'm looking in the mirror and I'm looking straight ahead and I'm creating that line. And that's why it looks like I'm looking down, but that's where my mirror is, and I'm looking straight ahead at that. And I'm still stretching the skin because I have hooded eyes, as I said, so I want to make sure that when I look down, that line is still continuing, and I don't have bits of skin without color in. And I just build on that line, making sure it's straight and going towards the end of my eyebrow. And therefore, when I look straight ahead, you can see it's just a straight line, dragging it towards the outer corner. Now I'm taking an eye pencil. It's called Ebony from MAC. This is something I had in the house. I don't really use it that much actually. I'm more with browns nowadays, but this is great. Whatever shade you're using here from the eyeshadow to make that straight line, if you have a crayon, it intensifies and it just gives it a deeper look to that line. So I'm just putting a bit of crayon on top of that eyeshadow and intensifying that color. Putting a bit in the inner corner as well. You can play here however you prefer. If you can just create that from an eyeliner, if you don't prefer a pencil, whatever you like. I just put a bit for you to see the effect that gives. It just elongates the eye. And I didn't continue with the eyeshadow, the black eyeshadow previously. I didn't continue all the way to the lash line. As you can see, I've just took it from the middle and straight line like that. I didn't take it all the way through because that elongates the eye if you don't do that, and you just put a bit in the inner corner. And then I'm just blending with my fingers just to give that kind of ombre effect. Now I'm taking the 231 brush. It's not relevant, the brush, it's just a flat little precision brush that I'm taking just to clean up that area underneath the eyeshadow there. Again, sorry for the background noises, my son is shouting a lot. As you've seen, I took a bit of concealer and just used that to clean up the area there, and I will also clean the area underneath my eyebrow and whatever you feel like you need to just retouch a bit and just clean up. Then I took a brush, a clean brush, it doesn't matter what type of brush, just to be a fluffy brush, just to soften up the edges there with the eyeshadow, just to clean up around it and kind of diffuse a bit the shade that I had there. That's all I'm doing. I don't have any color on the brush, it's just a clean brush. Now I'm taking Copper Toned. This is the name of the shade that I'm using from that palette. I'm putting that in the middle there, just with the synthetic flat brush. And then with my finger I'm gonna take the VR Nectar. That's my favorite shade in the whole palette. It's really pigmented and it's shiny, and I can't resist but putting this all over whatever I'm using from this palette. I just can't resist, and I always take this shade and I put it all over. So apparently this time I couldn't resist either. So I'm just patted that with my finger there. And now the foundation that I'm gonna use, I'm going to shake this Chanel foundation. I shake all my foundations anyway, and I'm gonna use a beauty blender to apply it. I feel that that gives me the best application and it covers my redness with the sponge. Or if I would use a brush, I would still kind of tap it because that just gives a lot of product in one place somehow, just packs the product on the redness and it covers it up. So I really prefer a sponge nowadays, but even if I would use a brush, that's how I would do it. That's the technique I use, by tapping it gently. And I felt I need a bit more on the cheeks. That's where my redness is, and this foundation is not very full coverage. I would say it's buildable. I really like it, but it's medium coverage, and therefore sometimes I do apply a bit more. I need to cover that redness underneath my nose. I'm gonna probably use concealer for that later on. I mean, I will, because I know, because I filmed it. I know how it goes. Now taking a bit of concealer and applying that under my eyes where I have the darkness in the inner corner there, and a bit underneath my eyeshadow because it's just naturally darker there. And I have a bit of redness there, some broken capillaries that I have for many years and I don't know why. But I am very gentle with my skin nowadays. I didn't used to be this gentle. Maybe that's why those broken capillaries happened a long time ago. Now I just have to really make sure I take care of my skin. Finally covering that redness under my nose that I remained from a spot that I had. Now Maybelline Fit Me is my powder. That's my choice of a powder. I use it every day. I hit pan and this is my second one that I purchased because I love it so much. The packaging is not the greatest. It looks a bit ugly, if I may say, but it's a really good product and I do come back to it. But because it's my second one, I might try others just because I'm a bit bored with using the same powder on, and I will see what I'm going to use. If you have any great recommendations for powders, translucent, that don't change the color of the skin, please let me know in the comments below. I would highly appreciate that. Now I'm going to use my Hourglass bronzer. This is really good bronzer. I forgot the shade of it and I don't have it next to me, but I'm gonna put it in the description below, all the names and of the shades that I used. I'm using this MAC brush for this. I'm going to link everything in the description below, all the brushes that I've used. If you're interested, this is an old brush that I have from MAC, so it's nothing new on the market. It's just a brush that I had. I have 2 of these brushes in my collection because I loved it so much at the time, and I still do. I still come back to it, as you see. Making sure I don't have a floating head, applying underneath my jawline as well and down my neck. And I thought I would switch to this brush because it's better for the neck, just to spread the product better. And came back to my pencil. This is the same one, the MAC Ebony pencil that I used earlier, just to intensify a bit more that darkness there. So I added on top of the eyeshadow, and I'm pointing out that I'm going straight in a straight line there, continuing the natural line of my eye. Instead of following the curve of the eye, I'm just going straight towards the outer corner, looking straight ahead, because it does really help. Even if you don't have hooded eyes, just make sure you look straight ahead when you create that straight line. And I thought I would just blend it a bit with the pencil brush that I've used previously to apply this black eyeshadow, I mean. Again, I'm pointing out that I'm going straight and following that eyeshadow in a straight line, applying the pencil on top of the eyeshadow. And again, blending a bit more, just making sure everything's looking as good as it can look. And let's pose a bit. Yeah, it's looking better now that I have the foundation on. I'm gonna use this Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. This is in medium brown. I really love this stuff. It's really good if I want fuller eyebrows and they stay put all day. It's a fantastic product, and I'm gonna use it with its brush. It's Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. It has a spoolie at one end and the brush at the other, which is great for when you're in a hurry. You don't have to grab another thing like a spoolie, you just have it there. So it's a good brush to have. And I'm gonna use the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel. I really like this. It also takes away from the excess product that I might have used with the eyebrows, because when I comb it through, it just gets the excess off and it leaves them looking more natural. I like it when I use this clear eyebrow gel. Now my Chanel blush stick that I love is such a beautiful color, and it gives me such a natural kind of dewy finish, and it just blends into the pores of my skin. It really looks natural and I love this blush. It's my only one in a stick that I have from Chanel, because I have another one in a powder. It's also coral looking, but I switch between them, and yeah, I really love this blush. Just patting it with my finger really gently, and I really like how a blush changes the look of my face. It just makes me look a bit younger. I hope that that's not just my imagination. A stick from Chanel I'm going to use. This is in Sculpting, I think it's called Sculpting. But even the blush and everything, as I said, I'm gonna put it in the description below, all the shades. I'm just applying this at the higher points of my face, tip of the nose, and everywhere else where I like to shine a bit. It has a subtlety to it. I don't like highlighters that are in your face, really sparkly, even though I do have some in my collection, but I don't use them very often. But I love this Chanel stick highlighter. Now, curling my eyelashes, I'm going to apply this Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. And starting at the tips of my eyelashes. And after I finish with one eye, applying the mascara at the tips of the eyelashes, just not at the root, just tips, I then move on to the other eye and I curl the lashes whilst the tips of the eyelashes at the other eye, they're becoming a bit tacky and drying a bit. So I'm doing the same tips of the eyelashes here as well, and then going back to the other eye and applying from the root of the lashes, wiggling the wand a bit all the way to the tips, because that gives me the most long eyelashes that I could get with the mascara, because I'm not into applying false lashes, sadly, because, well, I don't have the patience, and I don't know, I just don't like applying that, and I don't, and therefore I only use mascara most of the time. And that's the technique I have to making my lashes as long as possible with mascara. First the tips of the lashes and then going at the root, wiggling the wand there all the way up. So that's the way I do it. That's the way I do it. Now I'm showing this brush. Malouvel's brush is just a flat, small precision brush, basically a synthetic small precision brush, just to apply a bit of color in the inner corner. And the name of that shade is Astral Ghost Orchid. That is how it's called in the palette. And it's supposed to just brighten up the inner corner. And I'm now gonna go in with Skin Show Glow. That's the name of the shade, Skin Show Glow. I'm just gonna use a fluffy synthetic brush, quite a small synthetic brush, just to apply it underneath my eyebrow there to give the lifted kinda subtlety, shimmery situation under the brow there. And applying a bit on my cupid's bow as well, even though it's gonna go quite fast if I eat anything, but there you go. And now for my lips, I thought I would use this Bobbi Brown Ballerina Shimmer that I have for a while actually. This is not a new lipstick, as you've seen. It's quite used, so it's not, I really love this lipstick. It's a corally color with some gold kind of shimmer through it. Now going in with this Caudalie Beauty Elixir, I don't know how you say that, Caudalie, and spritzing that on my face, and it smells like mint and it's so refreshing. And there you go, this is the finished look. A bit in slow motion so you can see the effect on the eyes and that kind of line that's straight, how it looks. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this look. But if you don't have this palette, it's fine. You can use other eyeshadows that are similar just for the inspiration, because when I look at other videos, I don't necessarily own the same palettes or brands of makeup, and I just inspire myself to create the same kind of idea of look if I really like something. And that's about it. My son is here in the room, so I have to say bye. Don't forget to please like my video so I know if you like this type of content. And what else, click that notification bell to keep you notified each time I post a new video. And please subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. If you are, thank you so much. I appreciate it being here in my world, on my channel with me. And Mommy, I think that's it. Okay, so bye, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Would you like some scrambled eggs?
No, donut.
But we don't have any donuts.
How about something else?
Mommy's gonna make you scrambled eggs now, yeah?
No, I'm gonna get my own treat.
I have to go now. Bye!